Hi there, my name is Jamie Devine. Welcome to IAMDIVINITY.
Here at IAMDIVINITY, what we do is we help you unlock your inner power.
So that's what we're doing.
When I come here to the calls, you wake up my memory from my childhood.
That's the power. Imagine how healthy our community will be. Like, just so pure and so powerful.
Whispers of the morning stars, love expanded, infinite, come to earth, a hero's journey, finding what has always been, finding what has always been. Finding what has always been. Feel me now, I am the avatar. No ego here remains.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. My name is Don Smith, that's Don with 2 N's, and I'm here to share with you what I've developed over 44 years that I call IAMDIVINITY. I say that I am divinity because I'm divine and so are you. No matter what you've done and what you haven't done, you are divine, you always were and you always will be. And it gets all covered up. And so all of those trips to the personal developments and all of those things, and they don't hold, and did you ever question yourself? Instead of just going back and getting the next one and the next one and the next one and none of them hold? Well, there's a reason for that. A very big reason is because you're working at a belief level of who you think you are. That's what beliefs are, both negative and positive. They're who we think we are. So going from a negative belief to a positive belief is not the answer whatsoever. It's about the knowing of who we truly are. There's knowing. It isn't a belief. And so all of these ideas of doing this and all of those trips to the wherevers, it's like dealing with a piece of something. But this is not a piece of anything. This is the total knowing of who you are. And what I've developed over this 44 years is a process that's instant and it's permanent. Now, the permanent comes in by you doing something for holding it. But I'm telling you, there's people have this for years and it's instant. And how do I say that with such boldness? Well, put it in the category of a phobia. 90% of the population has a phobia of something. Bugs, snakes, rats, heights, water, whatever. And my question to you is, how long did it take for you to create that phobia? Yes, you're right. 1 instant. And yet everybody questions me about that. And yet that's all it took. 1 instant. So now, what I did was, I reverse engineered near-death experiences and phobias to find out how they worked, and I reverse engineered it. So if you can create a phobia in a second, and most times it's before the age of reason, which is 4, 5, 6. Think about that. At that young of an age, that in 1 second you created a lifetime phobia. Well, it's a lifetime phobia because you're holding on to it for protection. That's how the ego works. It's going to get you to hold on to something that's harmful for you so it can keep you aware in case it happens again. That's how toxic your ego is. And it's not your ego, it's the ego. Sorry, my mistake. Because you are much more than an ego. And so what it's about is if you create it in a second, why would it take any longer than a second to reverse it if you knew how you did it? That's what I do. That's one of the pieces. And then the other is the permanentness of it all. Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What color are your eyes? What color are those eyes of yours? Now you tell me how long you had that color. Yeah, your whole life. That's permanent. Would you agree? But look at the permanentness of a phobia. You had it from age 4 to 84. That's 80 years. You'd think that was permanent. But it was created in a second, and you can reverse it in a second. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. So that's what we're talking about. Something that's instant, something that's permanent, and it's about who you truly are. Your divinity, your divine. Don't ever forget it. Always remember it. And all of these other things are happening because you have an attachment to the personal development system of beliefs and changing a belief from a negative to a positive. It's not going to hold. It will not hold. Yes, there will be improvements. Congratulations on doing that. That's searching. I'm talking about a shift from this to a shift from this. Who we're not to who we are. And then doing a simple exercise. Takes 5 minutes, 3 times a day to hold it. And there you have it. That's it. That's who you are. That's why it's like the color of your eyes. The color of your eyes has been that way all this time, and you still have that color. Well, it's the same. Who you truly are is permanent. Who your beliefs are not, because it's not true. No matter how much you believe, the negative or the positive about those beliefs, they're false. And so, I'm here to share with you to go on a journey under 2 hours. Now I'm talking about, like I've worked with 15 different pro athletes or Olympians, okay? That's just in sports. And then mega billionaires, millionaires, and health, cancer. You know, one guy, yeah, I met him in the garbage room in Vancouver. I opened up the door and there he is. And he's so gray and he's humped over and he's like, you think he was going to die any second. I said, holy shit, man, you don't look too good. What's going on? He said, oh, I got prostate cancer. I've had it for 16 months. I've had 32 radiation treatments. And I don't know how much time I have. I said, don't listen to that bullshit. Can I ask you a few questions? Within that 15 minutes, I had asked him all these questions. And all I knew about him was his name was Al. 3 weeks later, I get a call from him. This same guy. He said, hi, Don, this is Al Valjanic. I met you in the garbage room 3 weeks ago. Yeah? Well, I don't have any cancer. Now, I could fill this room with those stories. Fill this room with those stories. And you can access this magnificent, powerful, divine energy called IAMDIVINITY. And what's natural about it, it matches who you truly are. That's the key. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting that you will know who you are and it will override and supersede who you think you are? Now, if you're tied up with that persona that you've developed, in a second, I might add, and kept it all this time, like I just worked with a guy that when he was 9, his mom died, and he decided to harden his heart. And he hardened his heart for the next 40 years. And that's what all his issues were about. We went back, cleaned that up, boom, it's gone. All the symptoms were all gone. That's how easy it is, and that's how simple this is. So if you want to continue with your hard work and all of those kind of things, and going back and paying for this again, that again, and this again, and the counseling and the therapy and coaching and all of that, go ahead, by all means. But if you want to be free to be you, free to be who you truly are. And those eyes, every time you look in the mirror, it will remind you how magnificent you are. And that's how this process is about, whether it's in an individual or whether it's in group. And I welcome you to join us in this journey of raising humanity's consciousness from its existing 210 to 700. That's right, you heard it right. 210 to 700. So it's an awesome journey. We're looking for 100 that are willing to go to 700 to raise humanity's consciousness. So I welcome you, and I'll see you on our journey. Hello there.
Greetings, Earthlings.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I'll try this. Mayanga B, Mayanga Ta, Mayanga Tu, Mayanga B, Mayanga Bihi, and
Buntag.
Mayang Hapan. Yeah, that's one of the many dialects in the Philippines. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, like talking to someone and I started using the Bisaya language and they're like, oh, I don't understand that. I'm like, wait, what?
Bisaya?
Bisaya.
Oh, Bisaya?
This Bisaya.
Your office.
You office?
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, I'm yeah. There was kids outside the gate there today. I said, do you know other languages? Yeah. What languages? Fend me the bush. Fend me the porch. Shut your mouth, shut the door. In French.
Oh man.
So welcome back. I want to let you know that this is our last time today, and so I trust that those of you that want some answers will engage. But yeah,
Wait, last time for what?
for these meetings.
Oh no, we're still doing them, are we?
No.
We're not? We're not doing any more streams?
Well, I thought Jamie talked to you guys, but anyway, we'll let you know.
Okay. I'm like, okay, this is news.
We'll let you know. Yeah. So, but great. It was perfect timing. Paul sending that that results, you and Donna, and you know, just the Gilberts and the Janets and the Amy's and all of you, but those specifically sent in things, and it's like, it's great to hear, great to know, and the biggest thing about how we started this was to, you know, have a large gathering of people interested in taking the process, and unfortunately that's not happening. So we just have to play with things and find out how to make it happen. And so there we have that part. We'll let you know.
Well, we also haven't launched the partner program, so people are probably waiting for that.
Yeah, that's
the
what
piece.
we're doing. We're like the partner program. That's the one that we were trying to get going now for 2 months, and still not quite done. Possibly Monday. And so that's a big piece of this, is like creating that groundswell of people interested in having a transformation happen. And yeah, so what do you say the topic was there, Will? Yeah,
Out of the intellect.
out of the intellect. So the intellect can create a lot of harm, actually, a lot of difficulty. And that's the ego. The intellect is in the ego. Ego is in the intellect, sorry. And it just keeps playing games, And I know that firsthand. Like, I could have written 10 books by now. As to all the tricks the ego attempted to pull on me and did pull on me as I was trying to figure things out. And it's really good at creating doubt and second guessing and those kind of things. And hey, I fell into a lot of them. I didn't have me to figure things out, you know.
It'd be a lot easier if you had your own Dawn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it would be a lot quicker. Yeah. Quite a difference in 44 years and 2 hours. Like, quite a difference. And yeah, a big difference. So while we're moving forward, any of you got any questions, you better get them answered today. Better get them sent in so we can answer them for sure. And
Are you planning to have a transformation on the 22nd?
yeah,
That is the plan.
yeah, we're planning on having a transformation on the 22nd of
March.
March. So that's what we're geared to. We'll see where it goes. But congratulations to Jamie and the boys for being so diligent here to do this for, you know,
67 days.
67 days. That's
Great.
quite a commitment.
Yeah.
Quite a commitment. And that's how committed we are. And when something's not turning out the way we anticipate, we need to create a redirect of some sort. But
Yeah.
the whole partner program.
Partner program. Yeah. I know that's a huge thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
we've been having a little bit of an issue with the card processing part. So what we decided yesterday was that we're just gonna go ahead and launch it, even if we're just accepting crypto, which I know not everybody knows how to use it, but it's actually really simple. And we'll have a video explaining like how to do it. There's like a third-party app. You can use your card there and then just transfer the crypto. And then that way you can get instantly paid. And we just don't want to wait. If we need to, we'll just roll out the other updates for the partner program as we go. We don't want to wait anymore. So
Yeah.
that's, and then the other thing is Don was saying we need to actually up the price. The $2,000 price point was just not, it wasn't that big of an investment for the person to be fully all in, especially when he's had people pay him $100,000 for a group session or $1 million for a one-on-one.
person.
Yeah, per person. So it's like, or $1 million for a one-on-one. So it's like you're not actually really invested in your transformation if you're only paying $2,000, right? That's like sometimes that's just a flight, someone's taking. So it's like you're not really invested if you don't have some skin in the game. And it also works out well for, oh my God, Ted, did you eat this orange? Yeah, and then for you guys, the partners, you're gonna get paid 20% on the first tier and then 10% on the second tier. So it gives you a little bit of an incentive as well to continue to build. So you're gonna get paid $1,000 on the first tier, and then I believe that's what, $500 on the second tier. So it's pretty nice. So that's something that we decided yesterday. $2,000 I mean, we should honestly be charging like a lot more than that. But
yeah. Yeah. Because I know what's out there. I know what's out there. But I'm not wanting to match that. I'm just like, okay, I know the immense value this brings. And it's not going back and going back and going back. If you come back, it's because you're strengthening that neurocellular muscle. It's not because I relapsed. Now the odd person will relapse, but that's different. And
yeah, it's interesting because I was talking about the Filipino guy that I met in the sauna the other day, and he's like talking about the what is it called, the rehab centers. And I didn't know this, but you were saying like some people pay $100,000 for a rehab center.
oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and then like on the way out of the rehab center, heading to the airport or whatever, they're relapsing. So we're not using the intellect for you to invest all this money and then not get the result. You're gonna get the result if you're committed and you surrender. It's your job to keep it, right? And so it's interesting as well. Like yesterday, I was having a chat with this young lady, and she's a psychology major. And so I was sharing with her the IAMDIVINITY process, and she goes, damn, feels like everything I'm doing is useless. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's like it goes back to like the intellect and whatnot. We're not using the same system to solve the problem.
That created the problem.
That created the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally different. Completely. Like think about this. Like doing the whole intellectual thing. Tell me how much, for those of you that have or had a phobia, like how much effort and energy did you put in to trying to bypass it, deal with it when it happened, get over it after it happened, like all of those, and it's incredibly, incredibly intense. It's phobic. It's incredibly intense. So like, how much energy is put into that? Now, let's do your intellect just for a moment. Let's do this logic just for a moment. Paige out of New York. She had 850,000 customers buying her cosmetic products. Okay, so her and her husband took my process, and he resisted all the way through and got zero. But anyway, She was wide open. And I took her through the process. She had 200, she had 100 phobias. That's her number that she said in her video, talking about the amazingness that happened. Okay, 100 phobias. How long is that going to take? How long will that take to clean up 100 phobias? Well, we were 2 hours and 20 minutes in total, but that was because her husband was resisting. It wasn't because of her. It would have been an hour and a half. And they were all gone. The last time I talked to her was 3 months after we were finished. All gone. All gone. So tell a psychologist, tell a psychiatrist, tell a counselor those numbers. And what answer do you think you'll get? You know?
Too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's what they would say.
Yeah, too good to be true. Or it's a scam.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of answers. And so the intellect, and that's why I use metaphor. That's why I use metaphors. Like Leonardo da Vinci and the statue of David. You know, all I did was carve away all the marble that wasn't David. So all I did was carve away all the beliefs, all of them, that weren't you. That's what I did. And guess what you were left with? The knowing of who you are. Well, there is no way at an intellectual level you can grasp that. Yes, Janet raised her hand. So yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, Don. So
Hello, my dear.
question.
Yes, you
It's-
go, girl.
So since like when I did the process with you, I didn't have 100 phobias, but I'm sure there are some phobias that did not come to surface at that moment. So if it does come up, do I just do the process again, or I just turn my back on it? Because she was present to like all those phobias, right?
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said?
Because you were saying that girl was present to 100 phobias. But when I did the process with you, I
Yes.
think we were just based on like phobia, 2 phobias. So is it more effective if we sit down and like think of all the phobias we think we have?
Nope. Nope. And nope.
Because it's already gone. Okay.
Yeah.
I go after the one that creates them all.
Okay.
That one that started the whole train in motion.
Hmm.
Okay? So no, you'll be there. By the time you get your 21st one done, there'll be 28 waiting.
I see. Okay.
The ego will just keep creating, whether it's like Nina seaweed or whether, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple phobias, whether there's 2 or 100. It's like, okay, this is what started your addiction to phobias.
Mm.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
you don't do them one at a time. I'd be there forever.
Because you're not working on the symptoms.
I don't do
Yeah.
symptoms. All I use the symptoms for is it's kind of like I'm putting a picture of a puzzle that's on the outside of the box. I'm getting you to see that, the whole, and then all of the scattered pieces all over the place, trying to put them together. And I have to get the one that gets them all, which is the first one.
Mhm.
It's always the first one. You can have others later that are more intense or whatever, but it's that phobic response to being in your light. That's what it is. But it shows up in a phobia to spiders or a phobia to snakes or a phobia to heights phobia to marshmallows. You know, it's like, that's what it is. And that's the whole phobic thing. And chasing them is not the answer, Janet. Do you want me to tell you what the answer is?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember sitting on that lawn chair on that beach by the ocean? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And do you remember when I did that shift, the popping that balloon, that bubble, and you come up through and you were sitting there glowing? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How many phobias did you have right then?
None.
You got it. So it's the ego tricking you.
Okay. I have one more question. Because
You go, girl. It's help. Questions help people. Like, you're asking them
like
for everybody.
yeah,
Huh?
I've been doing the process like you know, religiously or committed every day. And on the weekend when I was with like a bunch of people, like everyone was just so loving and hugging and kissing each other. And I'm kind of a germaphobe.
Oh, you
Still,
got a
it's
germ
still,
phobia. Okay, good. Yeah.
I don't like people touching me
No,
unless they're like my
no. You
partner.
don't like dying from a germ.
Also sounds like a fear of intimacy.
Uh,
That could be too, yes. So it's like,
so
go ahead. You got the floor.
yeah, yeah. And then I went into my room, kind of cried, and then I surrendered it. And I was just, I don't know, I guess it was the ego trying to get me back there.
No guessing. There's no guessing. Okay? That was your
Yeah.
ego trying to get a grip on you. And then your divinity, and get you out of your divinity, because it cannot survive with you in your divinity. You get that, Janet?
Yeah.
Okay? So, do you or do you not remember sitting on that lawn chair on that beach
Mhm.
that day? Do you remember that? How clear is that memory, Janet?
Um,
There's the
I think,
problem right there. There's the
I
problem
think,
right there.
yeah.
So what's the best thing about giving that up, Janet?
Um, well, I was gonna say, I think it's more clear actually when I did it the second time at home online.
Okay,
But
I don't care which one was the most clear. The question is,
yeah.
what was that? Do you remember being in your life?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and this is for everybody. This is for everybody. How large was your heart chakra that day when we did that?
Yeah, it was big. It
Size
was
of
limitless.
what?
It was limitless.
Yeah. How about your worth?
Also limitless. Or
How about your invincibility?
oh yeah, I am invincible.
Yeah. And how about your freedom?
Um, large, extra large. I don't know if it's beyond the
Yeah.
earth.
Yes. What color are your eyes?
Brown.
Yeah. Now, what you're doing is, I got brown eyes, and I'm going to paint over them with orange or green or purple or whatever. That state we're in that day, is your natural state. You either haven't surrendered fully, or you still have attachments to some things in the 3D world that you want to keep a hold of. And all you need is one for the ego to work. All you need is one. That's it. And the ego will play with that and it won't stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not that they come back. They come back because you got out of your divinity. Because there's no phobia, especially when we do the neurological. Like if we were just talking about this intellectually, we wouldn't be going anywhere. We
Right.
wouldn't be. Okay? But I'm telling you, I saw you. I was 2 feet away from you. Okay? And everything was gone. And you were radiant like the sun that day. Okay? You're never going to convince me otherwise because I saw it with my own eyes.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to ask you a ridiculous question. What's the worst thing about keeping that?
What's the worst thing?
What's
What
the
keeps
worst
me-
thing about being that bright?
what keeps me out of my light? And
No, why would you not want to stay in your light?
why would I not want to stay in my light?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. What's the worst thing about being in your light? Janet?
Maybe it's a fear of
Not maybe. What?
being able to be in it 100%.
Being able to be in it 100%. So, okay, so you got, I know I'm going to fail at this because I won't be able to do it 100% of the time, so I'm going to give some of it up now.
Oh, crap.
That's what you just told me. So you
Yeah.
see, the ego just needs just a sliver of doubt or second guessing or anything. And or it gets open and in it comes. Okay? Did you get that?
Yeah. I get it a
Now-
lot more clearer now.
Yeah. Now, Janet, you surrendered that day, but you took that surrender back. When you started being out in the 3D world and interacting with people and with customers and clients and you know, car breaking down or you know, whatever. But that's where we need to be in it more than less.
Yeah. Right.
And what more is that state of being that you had on that lawn chair when I burst that bubble where all of your ego energy was.
Mm.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the ego can't get back in unless you let it. And it is sneaky. It is sneaky. That's what these were meant for, is people having the transformation and then being in a group that they can catch those little boogers, you know, of the ego taking you out. But I'm telling you, your divine focus is how you get back in. Now, my question to you is, okay, I'm going to get you to do something. This is for everybody, okay? That's why I'm asking you these questions. They're very helpful for everybody. I want you to hold out one hand and the right hand, and that's your divinity. And hold it up so people can see your hand. Okay, there, good. And then the other one is your ego. It's the ego, sorry, not your ego. Hold that one in that hand. Now, what size is the ego energy?
What size?
Yeah,
Not that big.
well, here's what I'm telling you. I don't care if it's the size of a small marble.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there. You get that?
Yeah.
Now, you haven't surrendered that. You haven't surrendered that yet, Janet. Okay, there's something you're holding on to. What do you think that is about keeping the ego?
I guess it still keeps me safe.
Okay, it's not a guess.
Oh yeah,
Got it?
yeah.
You have the illusion of it keeping you safe.
Mhm.
Now, did you hear what I said? I said illusion of keeping you safe, not keeping you safe. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. You got this safety thing. And whether it's I don't have enough experience with the divinity, that I can trust it, that it's going to protect me. So I'm going to trust my ego that attacks me.
Mhm.
What's that
So-
like? That you're relying on the ego that crashed your system to begin with, that you picked up a phone and said, yeah, I'm going to do your process now.
It's tiring.
Isn't it? And yet, I mean, you're a highly intelligent individual. Look what you're doing in the world. And yet, you are giving up your divine light that's magical and immensely powerful. Okay, immensely powerful to trust in the ego to attack you with what you're holding on to in the ego. Imagine that. So here on the left is your ego and its attacks, all its ways of attacking you. And so what you've done is you've kept that to keep you awake and aware that it could come back. How crazy is that, Janet?
Crazy.
I would put it in that category for sure. Okay? But that's how the ego works. This is for everybody. That's how the ego works. It gets you to hold on to something that's going to keep it alive. Whatever it is. Whether in Sam's case, women, whether it's Jamie when he was in his addictions to alcohol, whatever that is. So it's these different ways that the ego has in the silence to get you back to it being in control of you. It being in control. Imagine all of those programs and patterns and pain that you had when you showed up to work with me. Janet, they were all gone. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And the ego convinced you you needed to take them back. You know why? You want to know why, Janet?
Why?
Because you have a phobia to your light.
Mhm.
And the ego's got you convinced you're not safe in your light. How crazy is that?
Mhm.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. You know, it's like I'm going to get you to break all of those Kanga machines you're trying to sell, and then I'm going to try to get you to sell them.
Ooh.
That's what you're doing. That's
Mhm.
what you're doing, Janet.
Wow.
And this will never stop. Like there's no end to this trail. But it comes from you not fully surrendering, jumping off the cliff into your divinity. If you ever decided to do that and trust that your divinity is going to keep you safe, when you make that decision, it's over. Because remember, it's the ego that's convincing you you're not safe and creates all the scenarios to prove that you're not safe. But yet, when you're in your divinity, you're invincible. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, I do
What?
feel invincible. I am invincible, I would say 85% of the day.
Wonderful. Well, that 15% is the ego tricking you.
Yeah.
And it cannot trick you if your decision is absolute.
Mm. Okay.
Excuse my language, but when I see that, it's no fucking way is that going to happen today, ego.
Mm.
Okay? That's me. Nice try. Nice try. And I just turn my back on it and get in my divine focus and boom, gone.
Mm.
But if you have hesitation, any kind of hesitation, what happens to people that try to sell a Kangen machine that they're doubting whether they can or not? How successful are they?
Not successful.
At all.
Yeah.
They may get 1 or 2 instead of the 20.
Right.
Agreed?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So what do you want to do, Janet? You want to trust in your ego to protect you from your ego? Because that's what you said earlier. You got the ego. You're using the ego to protect you from the ego. What's that sound like, Janet? I can't hear you. I'm waiting.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. There's stronger words than that, but yeah, I'll let you get away with that. I'll let you get away with that. But that's what it does. It finds a way that it can stay alive by creating some scenario that you won't use your light.
Mhm.
So I'm coming back to the question. How bright was your light when we were finished on the beach that day?
Very bright.
And how open and large was your heart? Janet,
Very open.
how very open?
More than
Janet.
more than I can even imagine.
Well, you did imagine it that day. Do you remember what metaphor you used to describe it? Janet.
Invincible.
No, we'll get to that one in a couple of minutes. I'm talking about your heart, Janet.
Oh,
You know,
what did
the one you use to get in and out of relationships. That one.
Which one
Did you
was
get
that
that? What?
one? What was the one I used for that?
I'm telling you, when your heart is wide open, you have no fear
Mm.
of intimacy, no fear of rejection, no fear. And when you're in your worth, there's no fear of failure, no fear of not being good enough. There's no drivenness. You just naturally manifest. Okay? So my question to you is, when do you want to be in your divinity and have it number one?
Right
Number
now.
one. Right now.
Always, all the time, 24/7.
There. Now you're
Yes.
talking. Now you're talking, Janet. Now see that, Janet, on your right doing that.
Mm.
See her doing that, Janet. That radiant Janet that I saw physically, in person, shining like the sun. Would you agree?
Yeah,
And how large was that heart energy?
it was limitless.
And did it have any fear of intimacy?
No,
No. Did it have any fear of failure or not good enough?
no,
Was there any weakness to your power?
no.
And were you trapped in any way?
No.
Huh. They had it all. You made 100 in all the 4 exams. And the ego said, well, you better hold on to one of these. And it won't matter whichever one it is, but it will be for you to hold on to one little crack in the glass, so it can shatter easily. And the reason being is you haven't fully surrendered. I'm in, boom, 100%. Got it? That's what you did that day, Janet. And you just took
Yeah.
it back. That's all that happened. And the ego's got you going around in circles like a dog trying to catch its tail. You get that?
Yeah.
So what decision are you going to make?
It's divinity
When?
right now.
Okay, make it. And tell me what happens to your heart, your power center, your worth, and your freedom.
It's
You make
limitless.
this. Yes, all 4 of them. Now, let's put it to the test. Okay, there's some hot jock interested in you.
Mhm.
Are you doing anything different?
No.
You don't need to protect yourself from being hurt, correct?
Mhm.
Being rejected. Any fear of intimacy?
No.
Huh. Well, those are the 2 things. If I was a betting man, I'd put every cent I had on that being your issue. That fear of intimacy. But what it really is your phobia to your light, not the phobia to intimacy, to a person, a phobia to your light. Did you get that, Janet?
Yeah.
So tell me, how long do you want to give the ego the power to take your intimacy away?
I already threw the ego off my balcony.
Yeah, I put a lead weight with it. You throw a lead weight in its back pocket there,
Yeah,
okay?
there's a metal ball chain somewhere down there.
Yeah, there. Ball and chain. Perfect. Are you near an ocean by chance so it can sink
I
to the
am.
bottom? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. So how valuable is your divinity in protecting you?
Yeah, my divinity is number 1.
Because it's invincible.
Mm.
That's because it's invincible. So if you're going to need protection, howbeit it's your intimacy.
Sorry, say that again.
If you're going to need protection from something such as a rejection or whatever, how would you like to go to your divinity rather than to the ego?
Mm. Yeah, that would be great.
Would be, or
I mean, that is great. I mean, when you're in divinity, it doesn't matter.
correct. But the ego had you tricked to say, I need to keep the ego to protect me from when it doesn't work.
No.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
So, what you come up with?
What did I come up with?
What's your decision?
That I'm invincible and limitless and I'm divinity.
Yes, you are. Now you tell me, if you decided to keep that, how many issues would you have in relationships?
0.
Thank you. How many zeros? Like, there it is, Janet. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
So did you make your decision? I'm going to be in my divinity.
Yeah.
And is that 80% of the time, 40% of the time, 90% of the time, or 100% of the time?
111%.
Wonderful. What color are your eyes again? I forget.
Brown
How long have they been brown?
since I was born.
Yeah. How would you like to keep that absoluteness of your brown eyes being your divinity?
Forever.
Wonderful. How does that feel?
Amazing.
Yes, you are.
Mm.
Yes, you absolutely are. So did you get your answer?
Did I get my what answer?
Answer.
Yes. Isn't it so simple?
Yes. I'm sorry for it being so simple. We can complicate it if you want, Janet.
Oh my goodness.
It is that simple. Now,
I
this
feel
is for
like
everybody. I'm sorry.
it's like I just want to move to you. I don't
No.
need you. I don't need you. But you
Yes.
know, I don't need you.
Yeah.
It's just
But just in case, right?
no, just in case. It's just would you rather walk beside a random stranger or Dawn? You know, you'd rather be walking beside Dawn. That's all.
So you're powerful beyond measure. And don't let the ego get you to create doubt about the size of your heart energy, your love, the size of your worth energy, your invincibility, and your freedom. And that's all contained in your divinity. So I'm going to ask you, how absolute is that decision to keep your divinity?
It's absolute.
Wonderful. Got it?
Yeah.
So, Janet, go like this. I am.
I am.
And what's this feel like?
Mm. It's kind of pulsing.
Yes, Janet. Got it?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
A lot
you.
of people benefit significantly from you being courageous to put this out on the table to deal with today. Way to go, girl.
Thanks, Don.
Okay, take care.
Congrats, Janet.
Thank you. I'm gonna go manifest now. Just
Exactly.
goodbye.
Don't you dare go into the doubt or second guessing or any of that. That's all the sand on the beach.
Mhm.
All the sand on the beach. Okay, got it?
Yes.
So has anybody got any questions on what just took place with Janet and I? Anybody? Did you read any of them?
I mean, I read them and I read them out loud.
I'll just
So Gilbert, that's the last thing I could see is the ego infiltrates anything in our consciousness, our conscious state of being. So the intellectual ego takes control and does what it can do to prevent us from surrendering to the divine. It doesn't want us to be in control, to lose control. So it feeds us whatever is possible, whatever BS possible to prevent us from the light.
and it's this simple. What just happened with Janet, that there's no reservations about wanting to waddle in the ego energy. I absolutely I'm trusting in my divinity to deal with everything and anything in my life. Okay, that's it. So in that, what do you got there, Donna?
So Paul says, Donna says you're radiating to Janet. No more doubt it. The yoga says no more doubting your true potential, Janet, the divine. You got this.
Okay, so that's how this works. Okay, it's that simple. And we can complicate it, but it is, I'm surrendering my ego and embracing my divinity.
The key word is surrendering.
Yeah.
Especially whenever you've done so much personal development and you've used the ego to accomplish so much, it gets harder to surrender that. And I mean, I know that firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This is like complete surrender to the divine and like, hey, like the divine will lead me and also help me take care of every single thing that I need, no matter what it is.
Yeah. Because that's you and your absolute power. That's you and your absolute power. And you have all of them all together. A heart the size of like the three that I did on Saturday. You know, when I asked them like, what size is your heart? Oh my God, like there's multiple planets, like it's like the whole universe. How's their answer? Okay, what size is your worth? Oh, it's right beside it. It's the same thing, you know. and the next is like, how invincible do you feel? Oh, I am, talk about Paul, like this superhero. And how free are you? As a bird. Okay? Now, one of those ladies had a ton of phobias. An absolute ton of phobias. Highly suicidal. All gone. All gone. When I showed her all of that, her own writing, what that was like, she said, pure nonsense. Huh. An hour and a half later. Got it? So, what do we got going on here? Anything?
Just some comments on the process.
Okay, good. So, does anybody get any questions? By the way, Paul, thanks to you and Donna for the wonderful compliment of how wonderful you guys feel, how dramatic your transformation was. I think Will has an extra, him and Chesser also have a great thank you to you for what's happened in their marriage as a result of you two. What's that like?
Hey, Don, thank you so much, and thank everybody there because we're just I feel like I'm on this new journey, and well, we
Feel
are.
like you're on this new journey, or I am on this new journey?
No, we are on this new journey, and
okay.
And it's very challenging at times. Definitely, it's not. You know, yes, we can get back on track because of your help and your guidance in terms of what tools we could, you know, implement to do that. And but I think it's my frustration sometimes is that I feel like I'm moving on, and then all of a sudden I get dragged back to take a look at some old crap that I'm replaying again, or it's kind of crept in.
That's the trick of the ego.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually, I think my reactions aren't as dramatic as they may have. No, I don't think. I know, and Donna will attest to this, that my reactions to them are not anything like they would have been prior to this work that we've been doing with you and with ourselves. And so yeah, we're totally grateful to what you brought to the table.
Question then. You guys had children?
Yes.
One,
Children,
two,
grandchildren, and one great grandchild.
Yeah, we'll stick to the children first because of the metaphor I'm going to use.
Hmm.
How many children?
2 boys.
Okay, 2 boys. So was Donna a little pregnant?
Oh yeah, yeah, just a little.
Was she a little pregnant? Or was she pregnant?
Oh no, she was fully pregnant.
So we're either pregnant or we're not. Would you agree?
Absolutely agree.
Okay, and you're using language of a little pregnant.
Yeah, that creeps in too. Yeah,
Got it? So
yes.
Paul, you're given the power to the ego. You remember when you were finished that day that we worked
Mhm.
together? How much were you concerned about the ego that day with your littles and sums and all of that?
No, I wasn't that concerned.
See, you weren't that concerned.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm
Yes,
just catching you,
yes, you
Paul,
are.
not absolute. If it's absolute, there is none of that. There is none of that.
Right.
So you got to decide whether you're going to play in the mud puddle of the ego or in the ocean of your divinity. And you haven't made that decision absolutely yet.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, I guess.
No, there's no working on it. No, are you still working
No.
on being pregnant?
No, I don't think so.
What
Not
do you
at all.
mean you don't think so? Do you see listen to your language, Paul?
I was going to say something about the language. It's terrible, in the business world, which I've, of course, been a part of one of my careers. Uh, language and saying what you want to say, but not really saying it is actually key to getting ahead. Terrible, isn't it? Terrible. But that gets ingrained in us, and then we have this script. I feel we get scripted into what we say, and
Paul,
then yeah.
Paul.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Here's the intellect.
All that stops when you make an absolute decision. Okay? So,
Yeah.
would you give one of your children away?
No.
What do you mean no?
No. Well, why would I do something like that?
Yeah.
No.
So you wouldn't give your children away or your grandchildren or whatever. You wouldn't give them away. You wouldn't sell them.
No.
You wouldn't even think about it.
It's ridiculous.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you, how the language you're using is ridiculous. You're either in your light or you're not.
Hmm.
And if you're not, the ego's in charge. And if you're really strong, it'll find all these sneaky ways. But if you're weak, it'll just come in and nail you. But both times, it's in charge when you do that. So what's it going to be, Paul? Iffy, washy, maybe, kind of, sort of?
I hate that
Doesn't
language.
a superhero to me.
I
Where's the
think it's
crypto?
going to be definite for sure. Yes. And I
It's
think we're going to, oh no,
going to
here we
be.
go again. Here we go, I think again.
Can you hear yourself talking, Paul?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yes, I hear myself talking.
And what are you
it's like
hearing?
feel like I'm in
And
an echo chamber. I'm in an
what?
echo chamber here.
Yeah, and what are you echoing?
Doubt and uncertainty
Exactly.
and
Yes.
fear.
All of the traits of the ego.
Yeah.
All of the traits of the ego. So when are you going to completely surrender the ego energy of who you're not and step into the knowing of who you are. When are you going to do that, Paul? 3 months from
Not a
next Sunday?
difficult choice.
What's
Now.
that?
Now,
Now?
yes.
And what's that? And all I'm saying now is, it's 11:11 here, by the way, just so you know. And what's that like to make a decision such as we're having children? Donna, let's have a child.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up. Because I was actually feeling super grateful for that. I had that thought running through my mind before this session here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Did you ever back out of that?
No,
Would
No.
would I be accurate in saying it was an absolute decision?
yes.
Okay. How would you like to make an absolute decision? My next child is my divinity.
Well, absolutely. Yes, I wanted, yes.
Oh, you're lucky you didn't continue with that sentence, but
I guess I'm changing. No, hold it. I'm changing my neural pathways.
and it starts by the absolute decision. I'm going
Yes, it does.
to stay in my divinity, in my light. Just like I would never give one of my children away.
Ah, right.
Do you get that, Paul?
Yes, it's valuable beyond.
Yeah, it is. So when's the decision? When are you making that decision?
I've made it.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I have.
And what's the decision you made?
That I'm going to live in my divinity
You're
and
going
allow
to?
that to
What day or
allow
week is
that to.
what day or week or month is that going to be that you're going to live in your divinity?
Donna's laughing. It's today.
Oh, what time today?
Well, let me see. It's almost 5:15 in the morning here. So
Uh-huh.
today, now,
No, what time today? What time today?
5:15.
Aha. So tell the whole group your decision.
I'm going to live in my divinity starting.
uh,
No,
I'm going to.
no. Oh, you're right. Okay, I got to get into this one now. I keep slipping out, don't I?
Well, the ego, it's still there. It's still there, Paul. It's it that's doing this. I've made the ultimate decision. I'm staying in my light under all conditions. In my divinity. What's that sound like, Paul? Does that sound like I'm going to think about it? Well, maybe.
No, it's an I am.
Yes. And what's that like in your whole being, Paul? Making that decision in an absolute way.
Well, the ego wants to tell me all the bad things it'll cause, but I have no idea what the hell that's all about because I'm not going to listen to it.
Wait, that time. Here's what that's about. The ego playing on your not absolute energy.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I said. Would you give up one of your children? Would you do any of that?
No,
Would you
of
give,
course not.
if the ego tried to convince you of doing that, what would you say, Paul?
Fuck you.
Exactly. So when are you going to tell it in all areas, fuck you? I'm
Now,
waiting.
now, fuck you.
Got it?
I got it.
Wonderful. Have a nice day, Paul.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Powerful. No more kryptonite for Superman.
Right on. Oh, who's got Eric? Can you give me a synopsis of that?
I'll just read it. For decades, I had battled with what I could call monkey chatter. I would get the upper hand at times and back it out, but it knew my whole game plan and would not allow me to stay at a high vibration for a sustainable amount of time. And now going through this process, I have a face to the monkey chatter, and his name is ego. It is now so easy to see it when it pops its head up and wants to take control. The answer is not now or ever. My light is mine. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, you are divine. You are divine. What's crazy is that you made decisions at different times in your life to be in the ego, and the ego would just lapping that up. But know that for everybody on this call, for everybody, for those of you that have had the experience of being in your divinity, okay? Is there any one of you that has a phobia of staying there? Anybody? Anybody got a phobia to be in your life? So if that's the case, are you ready to make an absolute decision of staying there? And what's your answer?
Yes.
So would there be any reason why you'd want to bring your ego back in? The ego, sorry, not yours. The ego back and let it in. Now it's going to kick and scream and all of the ways that it had you playing the weakness game or whatever that it did all in the past, it's going to use all of them again, trying to get back. Okay? Trying to get back. And your job is to recognize it and come back. And once again, it is simple because of the work that you've done to just turn your back on the ego, link your fingers, thumb and first finger with your thumb and first finger, right hand with thumb and first finger left. You say, I am, and you have turned your back on it, and there's your light. That divine focus. And you just hold that for whatever length of time. So I held mine for 2 hours this morning. I don't know about you. Okay, 2 hours and 20 minutes actually. I just happened and recognized, know the time. Okay, and if I go out for something, buy something or whatever, okay, I do whatever I can to get back in as quickly as I can. That's what I do. So there you have it. Any questions? Cat jumping on the computer here. There we go. So will there be an email for the next step to continue the divinity work?
Yeah, we're gonna have a meeting after this and just talk, and you'll definitely get an email just with all of the
Update,
whatever we need to update you guys with.
yeah. So congratulations on being here today, every one of you, and congratulations, Janet, on taking such a gigantic risk of putting your whole heart and soul into exposing that. And I know everyone got something out of it because of you. So super congrats, Janet. And so there you have it.
And also, Paul, thank you.
Yes, Paul. Yeah. And though that's yeah, you're very welcome, Gilbert. So yes. So our next objective is to, on the 22nd, to have a large number of people want this because they've seen such a dramatic change in you. And it's not trying to convince them like selling a Kanga machine. It's like, you know, this is what happened to me. This is what happened for me. And this is what's happened since then. That's it. Once again, don't even think about trying to describe the process. You get the video that of me that starts at the beginning, and the video of at the end of Jamie. That's all.
And we have some other videos as well, like for like the financial piece or the health piece or like the
Oh yeah.
yeah. So we'll also be doing a partner training just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a guideline of like the funnel you could use to get people in. But first things first, we just want to get the partner program going, get you guys signed up, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, it's as simple as just sharing the stories.
Yeah, that's it. No more. They're going to ask you a ton of questions about the how. A ton of questions about the how. Say, listen to this. That's it.
LK's asking you a question. Don, do you ever drop out of your divinity?
Yeah, there's the odd time, and when it happens, I just get right back. I don't waste any time other than something that's like I was upset yesterday about how few people are interested with all the work that we've put in. And it's
Michael says, I give out Don's meditations as a starter. Should I not do that? I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but we want to get them to the.
Yeah, no, they need to know that's their way. That's how we just described is the way that they will find out about the process so that they can make an informed decision. Okay, so the meditation or whatever, that's irrelevant at the moment. It's like getting them to be aware of their programs and patterns, because it's not like your personal development. It's not. And they're going to be asking you personal development questions, and want answers. And those will take care of it. Jamie's video and mine. And And anything more than that, you're going to drown trying to come up with answers. They will be all intellectual, because that's the programs that they've been in. Yeah. So just listen to that. If you're interested, get back to me, or we can watch it together or whatever, and you can make an informed decision from there. But that's it. Nothing else. Yeah. Okay. Got it? So congratulations.
Yeah, we'll update you guys. We're gonna have a little meeting after this, but to end the call, we're gonna leave you with this video. So we'll see you when we see you.
Yep. We'll be in touch.
Infinite love, guys.
Yep.
All right, well.
Hi there, my name's Jamie Devine. Welcome to I Am Divinity. I'm super excited for you to embark on this journey. Just congratulations for even finding I Am Divinity. My journey has been over 16 years of personal development, spiritual programs, multiple religions. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 13. I never had a regular job. And so going through all of that, showing up to Don Smith 4 years ago, to take his instant and permanent transformation, first of all, sounded a little hard to believe because I had done so much work and I still had all my shit. I was still an alcoholic, a weed addict, a narcissist. My financial gains in business and investing would shoot up and then cut right down and start over, shoot up, cut right down, and I could never hold my success. Going through his program, it was about 2 hours. All of my toxic patterns and programs were completely gone, literally just gone in a second. And I can't even describe how liberating that moment was for me. But right after that, I told Don, I said, I don't want to do any of the business that I'm currently doing. I woke up to my purpose for coming to the planet when Don told me his vision of raising humanity's consciousness to the level of 700 on the scale, enlightenment, which was the cause of all causes. The level of consciousness is the cause of all of our individual and collective problems on the planet. And so to finally have that solution, experiencing that solution for myself, I just wanted to tell everyone and anyone that would listen. And of course, with all my entrepreneur background and my skills in marketing, I made an agreement with Don so that I could just, literally my job would be to hold my light and share my light with others and bring them to the process and actually get compensated for it. And so I'm super excited to announce that we've now created this entire system for you too. Now imagine that, being able to go through this instant and permanent transformation for yourself, be liberated of all your toxic patterns and programs, literally within a couple hours. And then on top of that, being able to have all your financial fuel and energy and livelihood come from this divine system. And so there's a few pieces to it. Number one, we have an affiliate partnership program. So you're a partner. Your job is to hold your light, share your light, and anyone that's attracted to it, bring them to the program, and we pay out 30% of all the financial part of the system to you. That's the first part. The second part is my experience in the financial realm took me into Forex and crypto over the last 10 years. And I've been through all the roller coaster rides, all the ups and downs, all the scams and schemes. And we landed on just a couple people that were actually full of integrity and that have actually gone through the divinity process and that are like nothing else. So our Forex fund is ran by an institutional trader. And if you've ever done anything in the financial realm in Forex, 99% of the retail space, the average everyday person, it's a scam. It's a scheme. You're going to lose your money. Maybe you're one of the few that got in early and took the money from the others, but eventually it collapses. I've seen them come and go over the years. But this institutional trader, he has 7 years of experience, and we have his entire track record of his strategy. He has an algorithm. He spent over $20 million in development up to this point. And so even with all that being said, there's still no guarantees. Of course, when it comes to investing, please only risk what you can afford. But we found something that's more solid than I've ever experienced, and it's where our personal funds are. And so you'll have access to that as well. His team has produced over the last 7 years on average 50 to 60% per year on the funds. And you don't have to do anything. You open up the brokerage account, our team will help you do that, and you park your funds there like you would a bank account, and his algorithm trades on all of the accounts. And so we can expect a 50 to 60% if it's anything like the previous average. But again, all the past performance never guarantees anything in the future. Just please be mindful of that. And then the last piece is our crypto fund. Now the crypto fund is very time sensitive. So a good friend of mine, Josh, who's handling the crypto fund, he's become an expert at this stuff. That's all he does every day. He goes and researches the top legitimate projects in crypto. To give you an example, in 2021, which was the last crypto bull run, Josh on his personal portfolio did over 8,000% that year. 8,600 to be exact. And so this was a kid that was 21 at the time and had his life savings in crypto and became a millionaire over that year of investing. And so just this last year, Josh told me, hey, I'm going to do what I did last bull run, but I'm going to open it to a few friends and family. I said, Josh, no problem. I trust you. I sent him the funds for myself, and then I said, Josh, I want to open this up to our entire community. He said, well, I don't know if legally that's a little tough. I said, don't worry, I'll work on that. And we created Divine Markets, which is a legal entity to be able to facilitate this, both the Forex fund and the crypto fund. And so we overcame that, and Josh is exclusively handling all the crypto for our community. And his target for the next year is 1,000%, about a 10x on the funds. And again, there's absolutely no guarantees. Please only risk what you can afford to risk. And so that's it. That's the overview. It's pretty simple. You got the affiliate partnership program, which again is just going to share the financial part with you so that you can actually create a network and an income for yourself while holding your light and sharing your light. Which, by the way, going through this process, we wouldn't be able to pay you to not tell people about it, because you're just going to be radiating and people are going to be attracted to you. And so we just wanted to create a system where we're all partners in this to reach that goal of 114 superheroes of light that are holding this and shifting humanity's consciousness. And so I welcome you to be a part of that vision and mission and part of our team. And I'm excited for you to go through your process. By the way, all of this financial part is only exclusively available to those of you that have gone through the process and committed to that. So it's not going to be available to anyone else. So what a bonus, what a reward for accessing your light and holding it, that you get access to an institutional trading fund that you wouldn't be able to get access to unless you had $250,000 and a accredited investor and all those things that the institutions look for. So we created a bridge for you on that. And the crypto fund, unless you know someone like Josh, and even if you did, it's not cheap or easy to get involved with those things. But we've made it easy for those of you that go through this process. It's a $500 minimum on the Forex fund, $500 minimum on the crypto fund. So that's it. I'm excited for you, and we'll see you on the other side.